Hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas, and today we're gonna be, today I found this specific section in one of the Webflow templates, and I thought it would be pretty cool to recreate this in Framer and actually improve it a bit, right? If you hover over these sections, it takes a little bit too long. It's not so smooth. If you go really fast, it's kind of looking weird. Yeah, overall, it takes a little bit too long. And maybe we can do something that, if you hover over the image, a text can pop up, something similar to this, right? But in this type of style. I really like this layout with the text. And I really like this, column view that whenever you hover over something, it covers two columns instead of one, right? So this we can easily do with Framer and with Framer components. And we can add some interactivity, like I said, with the text. So if that's something interesting for you guys, stick around and let's get started. So like always, the first thing that you want to do is open Framer and open a new project, right? You can click up here with the plus sign. And I want to just open a few other breakpoints. So we have desktop, tablet, and phone, right? Because I like to build and design responsively simultaneously, right? So we have these three breakpoints open. We don't need anything else, just three. And let's go back to Chrome. And let me just take a screenshot of this, right? So we have a screenshot of this nice section that we want to recreate in Framer. And let's bring it over here. And perfect, we're gonna have it right here on the side. And let's go to our other inspirational page, so this one, and we just wanna, maybe take a picture of two of these just to kind of represent, to see the representation of how this hover effect would look like, right? And we're gonna just put it here on the side on the canvas just so that we have it there as, just to follow, right? So we have this too. And by the way, this is something that I love about Framer, that you can just put stuff next to the actual canvas, and you can put notes, you can put drawings. Like yesterday I was working on a template and I actually drew the wireframe by hand in Procreate and I brought it here, right? So this is what I was talking about right here. With the Procreate drawing, I had it like this, boom. And basically what I did is I just brought it into Framer, built it like this, and it's kind of looking the same. I just changed a bit, the layout a bit. I put this on top of this section, but yeah, this is basically it. So I love Framer for that. And obviously, if you're interested in learning more about these certain types of tricks and building together with me, you can join my Discord. We hang out almost every weekday, Monday through Friday at around 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're interested in that, go to my account and check out the Discord link. So, or the description below. So anyways, let's get started with building. So I'm just going to put a text here. I'm going to write it, instead of about us, I'm going to put our services. And we want to increase this to be about maybe 36 or something. Let's change the font to something else just to make it different, right? So we have our services. Let's move this here. We're going to probably want to make this a bit smaller, maybe like 28, and make the font a little bit thinner in terms of font weight. So we change it to medium. And now here what we can do is basically the following. So we can just go to Chrome, and I'm going to go back to this website, and I'm just going to copy this text. Why not? I'm not going to use it at the end, but I'm just going to copy it for now. I'm going to bring this down, duplicate this down, change this to something like a paragraph text. So something like this. And a paragraph text is usually regular in font and not completely black, but maybe, 80%. And let's go ahead and go back to Chrome and copy this, right? So we're back in Chrome, copy, go back here, paste. And what we want to do is we want to start, right now it's a little bit unorganized everywhere. What we want to do is we want to bring these into stacks. So first of all, we want this to have a layout. So we want to go to our layers, desktop, we want it to be fit content. That's immediately going to create a layout. So now you can see everything is kind of under each other, which is great. So these two texts, we can select it here in the visual canvas or on the left. And then you click right click, and then you click on, oh, actually here, right click, add stack, right? We have a stack. We can call this the right side, and then we can add a stack for the left side, right? And then we want our desktop to be, you can see here that this one is kind of going vertically and this one is going horizontally. We want our desktop to always stay vertically because we want our things to go under each other. But for these two, we want them to stack horizontally. So let's just add another stack and call this the top stack. So it's going to be this top stack right here. So let's just call it top. And then here we can just make it like this. Boom. As you can see now, it's starting to fit, right? This is going to be fill. This is going to be fill. So you can see it's like halfway filled. But you can see that these texts are kind of being cut off. And to fix that, we just have to make both of these texts set to fill as well. And let's just do that for this one as well, because maybe you want to, add more words eventually. So that's kind of the basic solution to this. So now we have this, we have this. We want to maybe align these at the top. So let's just go like that. And right now there seems to be it seems to be very, crammed up. There's no padding on the sides. Let's apply that in the end. So first, let's just put like a rectangle that represents kind of this bottom part, right? We're not going to build it right now, but let's just put it down here so that we can have something. So I'm going to create a layout out of this, and I'm going to make this fill. And I'm going to group these together. This is going to be called the bottom part. And group these together and call this the services section. So this is going to be like the parent there, right? And here's where we want to add padding. So we can add padding on the top 120, the bottom 120, and the sides maybe like 48 or something, however you want. And we can also add some gap here. So right now it's just 10. We can put like 48. Right, and now we can have this, we have this nice little view over here. This seems to be a little bit small, it looks much larger here, so we can do that as well as with this. Maybe set this to 36 and set this to like 48-ish. Seems about right. And we can adjust the padding to not be so massive everywhere, maybe 60. Okay, and now we have these little guys down here, right? They're kind of going to be the same font, same size as this one, maybe, I would say. But let's just duplicate these and put this one underneath. Let's just change this to satisfied clients. Boom. And let's put these together as a stack. Boom, stack 1. And let's put this down here under the right. And let's duplicate this a few times, right? Boom. And let's call this, actually before we duplicate it, let's just delete and let's call this like stat, because it's a stat, right? Duplicate 3 times and oh, we want them to go next to each other. So how do we do that? Again, another stack. Stacks would go like this. Stats, and as you can see, they're kind of filling up the space if you select. So the reason being is that it's set to fixed width. So let's just hover, select all of them and set it to fill. And it should be showing. I don't know why it's not showing. Well, maybe it's because of the text. So yes, it's because of the text. So fill, boom. Fill. So my worst enemy in Framer is always these fixed heights and fixed widths. You always you mostly want the heights to be fit content and the widths to be fill. And if eventually sometimes you use max width, which we're going to use here in this tutorial soon. So let's put like 720. Let's put 5 million. And total MRR, 720 countries or companies helped. Okay, so we got that looking good. You can adjust maybe the padding here to be a little bit larger, maybe 14. Great, so that's looking nice, right? We got that. Obviously, guys, you can, change different things. This doesn't have to be 80. This can be like 100, and this can be maybe medium. So it stands out a little bit more than this. That's also fine. You can do that. All right, and now what we want to do is this particular section. So for this particular section, what we need to do is we need to create different frames. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 frames and we have 6 columns, right? So I'm just going to put a random color, like a blue, and I'm going to fit this in here. And I'm going to put this as fill height. And I'm going to put the width as fill. And I'm just going to duplicate it 5 times. There we go. 5 times. And what we want to do is for this bottom thing, we can maybe use it as a grid. And use it as 5 columns and 1 row, right? And then what we do is that some of them are going to be 2 columns wide, right? So this one is going to be 2 columns wide. Oh, actually, it's not going to be 5 columns. It's going to be 6 columns. My bad. 6 columns, 5. 6 columns and 5 images. So this one is going to span 2 columns. Beautiful. We got that. Each one is going to have a specific, border corner radius. So we can just add, no, not border, sorry, it's going to be radius. Maybe 10 looks better. And here for this fill, we can just remove this so it stays white. And now it's looking more like it, but it's static. If I were to hover over this, it's static. And for the other sizes, we have to make sure that it's looking good. For the phone, we're gonna have to look for another solution because, yeah, too many columns on a phone doesn't look good. You can already start seeing here, you have to make things go like this in the phone. You have to make sure that this goes like this. So it starts looking more, it looks better like this. It's a different layout in the phone. You should have less padding everywhere. It's supposed to look like that. So for example, here on the phone, what we can do is we can maybe do something like this, and it's not going to be interactive because you can't hover over a phone. Here you can hover, but your mouse can't hover over the screen, right? You can only click. So we can think of a solution like that for the phone. Now, I'm going to just refresh this. And I want to duplicate this because for this one, I actually want to create a component out of this. And I'm going to call it dynamic grid create. So for the dynamic grid, we're going to have different variants. We're going to have 1, we're going to have the 2. I know it says variant 2, but I'm just going to rename it like this. So we're going to put this 1 and we're going to put this 2. And you kind of guess the idea, I guess. So for each one, we make this 1, we make this 2, and then again click plus 1, and then the next one gets 2, click plus 1, and then the next one 2. Great. So as you can see, they all have like their own different sizing based on the variant, right? So let's just rename this one variant 4 and this one 5. Okay, So each one has their specific thing. Perfect. So let's just change the images. So we can use a tool like Lumi to basically represent these different things. So for design, we can choose something like this. It can be like an office space. I'm not sure if this would be good. Let's see what else they have. I think we should choose something. This looks better with a person. And then for this one, we can do the same. So instead of the blue, we add the image. So we can put some other person. This can be like something like project management. Then we can go again, Lumi, engineering. We can use that car one as well. So let's go plugins, engineering. Oh, Lumi, engineering. And choose this one. And then this last one, let's go plugins, Lumi, and let's put like coding. Put something like that, perfect. Awesome. Cool, so that's basically it. So now we just have to do these different interactions. So you transition. So you transition on mouse enter, you delay 0, and it sets to variant 1. Same here, interaction, you transition, mouse enter, sets to variant 2. You transition on mouse enter, 3. New interaction transition, mouse enter, 4, and mouse enter, 5. So I just want to see how this would react. So you already have these. You can already see that it's reacting quite, quickly, right? There's this like little stretch happening, and this is a problem in terms of the actual shape of the rectangle moving and stretching out, right? So this is something that we might want to look at and see how we can solve it. But overall, in the beginning, it's looking really cool, right? So this is something to pat yourself in the back for, that we managed to do this in like, what is it, 80 minutes, 90 minutes? What I also noticed is that when you hover over this and there's like this little bounce at the end that you can look carefully. It bounces at the end, and we want to get rid of that. So I'm just gonna go here and try to see if I can select them all. No. So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm going to try to take away this bounce effect because I really don't like it. Mouse enter, delay, I got it. The whole transition. Yeah, you see how it has like this bounce. You might want to make it actually something like 8 seconds. Okay, it might be a little bit too much. Not 8 seconds, 0.8 seconds. Let's do like Something like this. Yeah, looking strange. So let's go back. Let's remove this. This looks better. This looks actually much better. I really like this movement. Perfect. So yeah, that bounce was kind of weird. Now what we want to do is we want to, add a cursor here, because I want to add this web cursor that, you can actually click on it, right? So you can like interact with it. So that's cool. Now maybe what we can do is that for each one, there is a text, right? There is a text that is inside of each image. So what we can do is we can create a layout for each image. And each image, their layout is going to be going downwards. And for each image, let's just bring in our text that we have. So we're going to use this type of text and this type of text, a paragraph, and this, think 500 stat text. So we're going to call this design, right? And we're going to give this like a random text, world class design operations that are on demand based on your based on your requests. And we want to make this, put this basically in a stack and put this stack in here, right? And let's make it fill. And let's give this a padding, about 20. And let's make this also set to fill. And this should be fit content. This should also be set to fill. And I want this to be a little bit smaller, so maybe 24 pixels would be good. And let's decrease the gap here. Maybe make it like 4. Beautiful. And right now it seems to be a little bit, it's in the center. Let's put it at the bottom, and maybe make this white. And what we want to do is that we want to kind of add a frame to this. So we can put the frame here. We can make the frame absolute. We can make it relative 100 and relative 100. Make sure that it's in the middle. Give it a z-index that is lower than our text, like so. And make sure that this is a little bit so something like this. Right. Now I want to kind of do the same for the other ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these, and they're all gone. Don't be afraid though. Let me just duplicate this. I'm going to make this into one column, and just duplicate this a few more times. And I'm going to adjust this 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And so now I'm just going to test this out to see how it works. Doesn't work good because we need to basically adjust these things to look. I mean, number 2, the second stack has to be 2 columns. Number 3, the third stack has to be 2 columns. 4, the fourth stack, 2 columns. And 5, the fifth stack has to be 2 columns. So now if we go back to our home and hover over these things, it works. Let's just go ahead and change the images. And after the images, we want to change the text. So go plugins, Lumi, and put like, what was it, engineering? Something like this. Lumi, engineering. This one would be plugins, Lumi, design. There was another one that I liked, this one. And then this one can be the coding one. Coding. This guy. Perfect. So now here comes the thing that we also want to kind of adjust, right? Which is we don't want all of the text to show. Right, let's just change some of these things. So this would be, for example, technical drawing. This would be engineering. This would be project management. Project management. And this would be development, right? And we don't want this all to be shown. So what we want to do is we want to kind of select these two. No. Select these two and visible. No. And the same thing with the other ones. Visible, no. Visible, no. And I'm going to do it with this one as well, so that it's easier for us in the near future. So actually, no, that's not really true. Okay, let's just go here and set this to visible, no. So select these two, visible, no, and select this one, visible, yes, because we're going to be hovering over it. So visible, yes. Perfect. This one, visible, no. No. This one, visible, yes. This one, visible, no. This one, visible, yes. This one, visible, no. So I hope you guys are kind of understanding the flow, but this is kind of how you do it, right? So visible, yes. So some of them you can see, some of them you can't. So it starts off with just one, and then you can just hover over them, and it looks like so. I mean, it looks really cool. I really like it. And it's very fast, dynamic, it's very responsive, which is the next thing that we want to check. I think right now for this first desktop view, it looks really good. So what we want to do is we want to check our different screens. So for this one, maybe we want to put it like this, right? And we don't need this one anymore. I just wanted to duplicate it just to see if we, messed up. We can go back. And then here for the phone, what we can do is, honestly, for the phone, we have to detach this component. So we can't detach it. Okay. So what we can do is we can just go in here and select this and paste it like this. And we're going to paste it in here underneath. Make it set to width fill and make a stack going downwards. And let's delete this. And this is going to be fit content, I guess. Each one is going to have a specific fixed height of around, let's say 200 pixels. And each one we're going to show the different things, right? Because as I said before, the phone, you can't hover over a phone. So you have to kind of show this. So we're going to make this visible. We're going to make this visible. Set this yes to visibility, yes to visibility. Boom. And now it's looking fire. It's looking great. So what I want to do is, you know, you can increase this size into infinity and it's gonna like also stretch out. You see, I don't really like that. I want it to stay fit in the middle. So what we can do, I mean, if you are into Framer and you kind of know this already, you must know about max widths. And if you don't know about max widths, it's totally fine. But basically max width is a maximum width that you give to a specific section. So in this case, our services section, we do not want it to stretch out. We want it to stay at a max width of around 1200 pixels, right? So once the computer reaches 1200 pixels, it's going to stay smack in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here to size and click on max width, set this to fixed 1200. And now if I press play, I start stretching it out. You can see that the screen starts stretching out, but the content stays right in the middle, and it's just really nice. So if you're, for example, working with a, you know, with a large monitor or something like that, it's gonna look good, right? So now we have that. It's looking really nice. I think I just want to, you know, change the text a little bit, change the style, and we should have it ready. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. It was really fun. It's really cool to be able to see anything on the web and try to build it in Framer with this powerful tool, all with no code, right? It's powered for designers like us. So if you like this tutorial, please don't forget to put a like. That really helps this channel a lot. And I also have the remix link to this project down in the description, so you can check that out and apply it to your own project or your own client project, whatever. And yeah, other than that, I wish you guys have a wonderful day as always. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write them down in the comments or join my Discord if you want to ask me questions personally. I always, you know, tend to go on these live calls almost every weekday, Monday through Friday at around 2 p.m. Eastern time. All right. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.